David is in Florida. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show, David.
Hey, Dave. How you doing?
Better than I deserve, man. How can I help?
Hey, so I wanted to call and ask you about your advice when it comes to approaching our student loan payments right now for my wife and I.
Mm-hmm.
And we're doing baby step number 2, which is snowballing our debt.
Mm-hmm.
And it's working well the months that we're able to do it, but there's some months where some expenses will come up to the point where our minimum payments for student loans can be a little backbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's never a good idea to go into more debt to help pay them off or anything. And I wanted to ask your advice on how to best go about these loans so where we aren't losing out every month on our minimum payment and not being able to snowball the rest.
What's your minimum payment?
It's about $400.
What's your household income?
Combined is about $70,000.
Okay. And your total student loan debt balances altogether is what?
A little over $30,000.
Okay. And your interest rate is what on those loans?
Average of 4.6%.
Okay. The only thing you would gain by refinancing would be recasting the loans and making you stay in debt longer.
Right.
And you probably would go up in interest rate to do that because you have a fabulous interest rate.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it's pretty good.
The only reason I tell people to refinance is to get a lower interest rate or to get to a fixed rate if they have a variable, and that's only on student loans. And so it sounds like more than anything else, we've just got some budget items. How much do you owe on your cars?
We have one car and it's paid off.
Okay. And how much is your house payment or your rent?
$1,250 a month. And that's really good for the area we're in. That was the cheapest we could find.
And what area are you in?
We're in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Okay. And how much is coming out of your check for 401ks?
At the moment, none.
And how much of a tax refund did you get last year?
We were unemployed part of the year, so it was lower. I think it was about $2,200.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Because with a $1,250 rent and no car payment and only a $400 student loan making $70,000, you shouldn't be that tight.
We have a couple other credit cards that we're paying as well.
What's the balances on those?
Combined for about $6.5 thousand, maybe a little less, and that's across about 5 or 6 different cards.
Okay, but somebody making $70,000 a year is typically paying off $36,500 in debt in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's not barely making a $400 payment.
Mm-hmm.
That's like $1,500 a month going on these debts. So I don't know where your money's going. You're doing the written budget, I assume?
Yes, we are.
I can't tell where your money's going because there should be money left in this equation. It's not going to 401k. You've not got too much coming out for taxes. You've not got a bunch of other payments. You've only got $36,500 in debt in student loans and credit cards. Mm-hmm. And you have a fairly reasonable house payment. It's not great, or house rent. It's not great on your income, but it's not horrible. It's not killing you. And so when I do your budget, I don't know where all your money's going.
Yeah. To be honest, I feel like it does go to random expenses that pop up. Like last month, we accidentally rear-ended our neighbor's car while backing up, and that set us back a bit. And you know, stuff like that, having to fix certain things around the apartment. Well, that's not really our bill. That's the landlord's, but different things like medical bills and stuff like that are coming up. It can be a little hard when also paying the student loan bill, especially with insurances that we're paying right now.
What I'm telling you, though, is that people living a normal life, doing their debt-free screams on this show, and that we do coaching with $1,000 or $1,200 rent, making $70,000 a year, are paying off the amount of debt that you have in 2 years. And 36,000 divided by 2 is 1,800, and that's $1,500 a month. And you're struggling with a $400 payment. So that tells me we have a $1,000 swing in your budget that I can't find. That's what I'm telling you. Other people are doing what you're doing so much better than you're doing it, and that's what I was trying to help you with. I don't know where it's going. I think you need to get on the every dollar budget, and you and your wife need to stay out of restaurants, and you don't need to be talking about a vacation, and there's no luxuries in this budget. It's scorched earth. And no, refinancing student loans is not your problem. You do not need to, you're going to go up in interest rate and stay in debt longer, and you will have addressed the symptom, not the problem. The problem is we can't find $1,000 in your budget right now that's lost. And I want you to get in there and find it and scorch earth your budget, meaning no life. You have no life till you clean this mess up. That's what I mean by scorched earth.